BRAINCOM presents. Ever wonder why trust is so elusive yet so crucial in our relationships? See, trust is this intricate dance, a delicate balance if you will, that lays the foundation of our interactions, be they personal or professional. It's the invisible yet palpable glue that binds us together, the silent contract that guides our actions. It's complex, it's multidimensional, and it's absolutely vital. But here's the tricky part. How do you know you can trust someone? Let's decipher the signs. The first sign of an untrustworthy person is inconsistency. Now, we're not talking about changing your mind on which ice cream flavor you want. No, we're dealing with inconsistency in behavior, words, and actions. This is a different kind of beast. Inconsistency here means saying one thing and doing another. It's all about unreliable patterns that can make you question whether you're dealing with Dr. Jekyll or Mr. Hyde. It's like being on a roller coaster, except it's not fun, it's just dizzying and unpredictable. In the realm of trustworthiness, consistency is key. It's the glue that holds relationships together. It's the compass that guides us in the right direction. But when someone's actions don't match their words, when their behavior is as changeable as the weather, it breeds mistrust. It makes you question whether you can rely on them when it counts. So remember, when it comes to trust, steadiness is a virtue, inconsistency a red flag. Secretiveness is the second sign of an untrustworthy person. Now, we all have things we'd rather keep under wraps, right? But there's a difference between maintaining privacy and being overly secretive. When someone is constantly shrouded in mystery, sharing little to nothing about their thoughts, feelings, or activities, it can raise some serious red flags. Transparency, on the other hand, is a cornerstone of trust. When people are open about their intentions and actions, it's much easier to believe in their authenticity. It's like walking in broad daylight. You can see everything around you, and there's no room for doubt. But when someone is secretive, it's like trying to navigate in the dark. You're unsure of what's around you, what's coming next. And this uncertainty breeds suspicion. It's hard to trust someone when you're constantly left in the dark, wondering what they're hiding. Remember this: openness breeds trust, secrecy breeds suspicion. Dishonesty is another glaring sign of a person you can't trust. Now, we've all told a white lie or two, but when dishonesty becomes a pattern, it's a clear signal of someone who can't be trusted. It's like building a house on a foundation of sand. It's just not going to hold up. Take this scenario. A friend constantly makes up excuses for why they're late or can't meet you. They're always spinning tales, weaving a web of lies that just keeps getting more complex. What does this tell you? That they can't or won't be honest with you. And if they can't be honest about the small things, what about the big stuff? Honesty is the cornerstone of trust. It's the bedrock upon which all our relationships are built. Without it, there's no foundation, no solidity. It's like trying to build a skyscraper on a cloud. It's just not going to work. Honesty is the best policy, and it's the policy of those you can trust. Lack of empathy is a sign of someone you can't trust. Now, let's unpack this a bit. Empathy is our ability to understand and share the feelings of others. It's what makes us human, what connects us to each other. It's the thread that weaves the fabric of our relationships, be they friendships, family ties, or romantic partnerships. So what happens when someone lacks empathy? Simply put, they're missing a vital component of human connection. This can signal a disregard for how their actions affect others, a lack of concern for others' feelings, and an inability to share in their experiences. It's like trying to build a house without bricks. You can't really trust the stability of that house, can you? When someone is unable to empathize, it becomes difficult to trust them. After all, how can you trust someone who doesn't understand, or worse, doesn't care about how you feel? Empathy is an essential ingredient in the recipe for trust. A person who constantly breaks promises is hard to trust. Ever wonder why? The answer is simple. Promises, in their essence, are verbal contracts of trust. When someone makes a promise, they're saying, "You can rely on me to do this." So, when that promise is broken, it's not just a commitment that's been shattered, it's a piece of your trust too. Imagine this scenario. You're building a trust tower, and each promise kept adds a block. But each broken promise? It's like a wrecking ball smashing into your carefully constructed tower. And the more promises broken, the more the tower crumbles. Now, we're all human. We make mistakes, and sometimes we can't fulfill a promise due to unforeseen circumstances. But when promise breaking becomes a pattern, it's a clear sign of unreliability. It tells you that this person's word holds little weight, and trusting them becomes a gamble. Promises kept are trust earned. promises broken, our trust burned. Avoiding responsibility is a sign of someone you can't trust. We all make mistakes, it's a part of being human. But how we react to those mistakes, that's where the real character shows. When someone consistently avoids taking responsibility for their actions, it's a glaring signal that they lack integrity. Take it this way, folks. Imagine you're playing a game of cards, and every time a player makes a wrong move, they blame the deck, the table, the wind, everything but their own decision. Would you trust them with the next round? Probably not, right? The same principle applies to life. Taking responsibility, on the other hand, signals trustworthiness. It shows that a person is mature enough to own up to their actions, good or bad. It's a quality that builds respect and, ultimately, trust. So keep your eyes peeled for how people handle their missteps. It can tell you a lot about their character. Responsibility taken is trustworthiness shown. A person who gossips can't be trusted. Those who engage in gossip often do so at the expense of others, and this may signal a lack of trustworthiness. When gossip becomes a person's go-to form of conversation, it's a clear sign that they may not be trustworthy with confidential information. Gossiping erodes trust in two key ways. First, it shows a disregard for the privacy and feelings of others. If someone is willing to spread rumors or share private information about one person, who's to say they won't do the same with your secrets? Second, it's often rooted in dishonesty. Gossip tends to involve exaggeration or distortion of the truth, which further undermines trust. But let's not forget about the self-serving nature of gossip. Often, the gossiper seeks to elevate themselves by bringing others down, a trait that can hardly be associated with trustworthiness. So remember, a gossiping tongue is a red flag for trust. Always be wary of those who indulge in it. People who are always the victim are hard to trust. Now let's unpack that. We all know someone who seems to be perpetually stuck in the role of the victim, don't we? They're the ones who are always wronged, always facing adversity, always the underdog. It's as if every mishap in their life is someone else's fault. But here's the catch. This constant victimhood can be a manipulation tactic. You see, by framing themselves as the innocent party in every situation, they cleverly divert the blame away from their own actions. It's a way for them to avoid accountability for their mistakes. And when someone refuses to take responsibility for their actions, it's a clear sign that they can't be trusted. Trustworthy people are different. They own their actions, regardless of whether they are right or wrong. They don't shy away from their mistakes, but instead, they learn from them. They don't always play the victim. They face up to the consequences of their actions. Trustworthy people own their actions. They don't always play the victim. Manipulative people cannot be trusted. They're like puppeteers, pulling the strings and controlling the actions of others to their own advantage. It's a subtle art, often disguised as kindness or concern. But make no mistake, it's a clear sign that trust is out of the equation. Manipulation is, at its core, a strategy used by untrustworthy people to control others. They might use guilt trips, flattery, or even threats to get what they want. They're not interested in mutual respect or understanding. No, their main goal is to keep you under their thumb, to keep you dancing to their tune. It's important to recognize these signs and not fall prey to their tactics. Stand your ground. Maintain your independence. Remember, a relationship, whether it's friendship, love, or business, should be built on mutual respect and trust, not on one person's need for control. Manipulation is a game of control, not trust. People who don't respect your boundaries can't be trusted. A personal boundary is like an invisible line that separates you from others. It's your personal space, your comfort zone, and it's crucial for maintaining your sense of self. When someone consistently oversteps these boundaries, it's a clear sign they lack respect for you and your autonomy. Imagine someone who constantly interrupts you while you're speaking, or someone who insists on sharing your private information without your consent. These actions show a blatant disregard for your personal boundaries. They might seem trivial, but they're significant indicators of someone's character. People who respect your boundaries understand your need for personal space and privacy. They value your individuality and respect your decisions. On the other hand, people who don't respect your boundaries are likely to disregard your feelings and needs in other aspects of your relationship too. In conclusion, respecting boundaries is a sign of respect, and respect is a foundation of trust. So these are 10 signs of people you can't trust. Inconsistency, secretiveness, dishonesty, lack of empathy, breaking promises, avoiding responsibility, gossiping, playing the victim, manipulative behavior, and disrespecting boundaries. These traits can potentially harm your relationships and peace of mind. Trust is a cornerstone of any relationship, personal or professional. It's crucial to be aware of these signs and understand their implications. Remember, trust is earned, not given, and it's always wise to watch for these signs. Stay vigilant, stay aware, and ensure your trust is well placed. If you enjoy this video, give it a thumbs up and share with your friends, so we can keep making them. For more videos like this, hit the subscribe button and don't forget to click on the notification bell, so then you get notified of our next post. Also, to learn about many other interesting topics, be sure to check our other videos as well. Thanks for watching.